So the neat thing about Alien Isolation is that it allows you to take full advantage of your environment. In this case, hiding inside a locker, just so you can, hide from the prowling alien. And the nice touch is you can actually bring up your motion detector. And oh, wow! Hey guys, this is Jed, and welcome to a playthrough of the first few bits of Alien Isolation. This is very early in the game, I would say, maybe 3-4 hours in. And actually, the first time that the game lets you actually play with its systems after a bunch of scripted sequences.
Have you found the passcode? Look, we'll need the physical keycard too. Morley always kept it on him. Find it.
So you'll notice that I just basically scrolled through all of that text,
I'm just trying to find out
but
what it is.
the game is really expecting you to read through the logs when they're important. If you're paying attention, you might have seen a code in there, a door code, and I'm not really sure that the game even saves it for you. I may be wrong here, don't quote me on this, but I think you're supposed to memorize these codes. It's just that I've been through this part before, and you can see me creeping up, and I knew that there was something there. And yes, I am hiding. Now that I'm just watching my recording, it seems like the music is a lot freakier than when I'm actually playing through the game. That might be because, I don't know, my attention is focused elsewhere when I'm playing. Maybe it has some kind of a numbing effect. But as you can see, I am here, I am crouching, and I am using my motion detector to basically see where the alien is and trying not to get spotted or heard. This is probably my third or fourth try through this area. And oh, there we go. And actually, I haven't gotten through this part yet. I've died maybe 6 times now since I recorded this bit. So I guess, spoiler, you know how this is going to end. But it is very challenging. But at the same time, it's very exciting. Like, I've said this before, but this game makes you feel smart. If you can figure out how to navigate through the maps, how to use the objects at your disposal, this game is full of MacGyver moments. So there we go. Right now, I'm just creeping around, trying to avoid that alien, who is fast approaching, I might say. And I have this code memorized, but the first time I got here, I really had to rack my brains just to remember that code because I was panicking like hell. And here I am running because you saw that alien heading towards me. And I kept running. And I thought you could hide in this place, and oop, it's an item box. And in my shock, it took me a couple of seconds to figure out how to actually pick up that stuff. And it's a miracle how the alien failed to spot me in that part. Now, what we're actually supposed to be doing here is check Dr. Morley's rounds here on the whiteboard, the very retro-looking whiteboard.
Morley.
And you might have noticed that some of the lines in that table were highlighted, and I think you were also supposed to remember those rooms. Those are room numbers, which I did not. In a blind panic, I just rushed, and oh, you see that blip very close. So I panicked, and I stood up, and I ran, and I was expecting to get gutted at any point, and miraculously, I made it into this room. notice the cool blur effect that happens when you bring up the motion detector. I thought that was really neat. And this is a really nice effect. You see me looking at the motion detector, and you actually have to lean back, as in hold back on the stick to be able to see the screen. So this is the default view. If you bring up your motion detector, you just see like half of it, and you have to lean back a bit to see the whole screen. And it's a really nice effect just to give you the feeling that, oh, something is happening. So you see, I'm not really sure how the alien attacks you in this game. If maybe you leave some sort of scent. I know it detects sound, and I know it heads for you if it spots you. But yeah, I was wishing out loud at this moment when I was playing that it would go away. And wow. Yeah. And of course, I had to wait. Oh, wait, actually, I didn't. You can hear the footsteps of the alien prowling around. And, at this point, I got turned around so much that I wasn't sure where I was. I just know that I haven't been here before. I've forgotten what I was supposed to be doing. Yeah. And all I could do is, I guess, scan and see if the alien was still around. Which it, of course, is. This is a hospital, if you haven't noticed. One of the many areas of the space station where the game is set. And at this point, I really got lost and I had to check the menu, and we're gonna skip ahead since it really took me a while to figure this out. I think I forgot which rooms I was supposed to be checking. And we are back. So I figured out which rooms I had to go to, but I really had no idea what I was supposed to be doing since when the guy over the radio, or the intercom rather, gave me his instructions, I kind of ignored him. Just because I was panicking a bit. So yeah, I went ahead and got those room numbers, and now I am walking around and figuring out how these machines work. And there's a door override over there, and I think when you hit it, the door locks, I guess. And there's a use button here, but I never really figured out what it does. So I think what the override is supposed to do, or the purpose of it being there, is to give you a few seconds or maybe a minute of breathing room while you, I guess, do something in the room or craft stuff. But it eventually unlocks, and you will notice that the alien is still prowling around here somewhere. And you get all of these freaky sounds when you walk and you get near the doors and they open. There you go. Saw the alien, and of course I decide to lock myself inside another room. Presumably a new room, since I haven't seen that rewire panel before. And here's the same effect I was mentioning earlier, where you have to lean way back to see the screen on your motion detector. So this is me leaning back, like pulling back on the stick, just to see the whole screen. And that is the default view, right there. And I think I was just waiting for something to come barging in through the door. Alright, so I decide to get back in the locker again. And you'll notice it's very close now. I haven't seen it yet, but I can hear it. And I realized I was crouching out there like an idiot, so I dive inside the locker. Third time inside the locker. And finally, it seems to have figured out where I am. And you'll notice that the music actually responds to what's going on. Like when the alien is inside the room, the strings start coming in, the music gets louder, and there is a very distinct change in the atmosphere once it walks back out. So I finally remember the emergency override, which locks the door, buys me a few seconds of safety, so I can mess around with the rewire system. And I see that there's an alarm down the corridor. So I decide to turn that on, and you'll see what that does in a bit. And I had to turn off the air purification to get that to work. And you'll see the alien running towards the alarm, which I activated. And here I go, thinking I've distracted it sufficiently. But no, I guess not. It's right behind me, so I'm running. I go through the door, and so was the first time I saw that animation happen. And that was very disturbing. And I think it was about at that point that I decided to give up for the night. And I'm still stuck at that point. Up until now, I haven't worked up the nerve yet to try that sequence again. So if you like what I've started here, leave a message, leave a like. And if you like this series, like if you want to see me continue playing through this game, suffering through this game rather, let me know. Okay, thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.